afternoon. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman is missing. Okay, right. Venerable Sir, brothers and sisters in the Dharma, in this is FoW. Very simple, very easy to remember. It's a fellowship of the wise. Everybody on the beach, wise. So we call ourselves Fellowship of the Wise. Now, the Fellowship of the Wise in SJBA stands for Subang Jaya Buddhist Association, in case you are not familiar, was launched in 2017, about 9 years from now, and it is an entity within the SJBA and formed by the senior members for the benefits of the senior members. So it is actually an in-house group. Okay, we did not outsource anything, it is an in-house group. Now, I will share with you today, or my talk cover two aspects, which is the background of SJBA FoW and the active and mindful aging model that we are propagating. Of course, the part 2 will be the sharing of our SJBA FoW active activities based on our practical experience. So we don't copy anybody. This is our experience. We are sharing it with you. Okay. By the way, I was told to remind you that this part 2 will be further illustrated in tomorrow's session in SJBA. Alright? And there are still a lot of places, a lot of food there. So please join us, even though you don't put your name now, but just join us. So, what is our FoW's active aging mission? It's actually very simple and pragmatic, not the rocket science, launching of the rocket that we are talking about. It is actually to help seniors maintain an optimum level of physical, mental and emotional fitness. Very, very importantly, mental clarity to walk the Buddhist path of avoiding evil, doing good, avoid evil, do good and purify the mind. I think this phrase, even if I sleep, I think I will remember it. It's been repeated so many times. And our philosophy is also very down to earth. That's why you can see the monks, the laymen walking on the earth. It's actually a gateway and path leading to the path of Buddhism. So we are providing a gateway and path for the seniors to walk the path of the Buddhism. For Buddhism, if you want to learn, you learn from Brother Benny and Brother Tan Chai. Okay? Now, what is our focus here? Our target, our active aging activities target are actually for those who are 60 years above, before they move into the what we call the old age group. Unfortunately, I don't have a pointer here, so I'm using pointer here to work. And of course, towards the end of the life. So, for those of you who are less than 60 years old, perhaps you can take a rest and sleep if you want to. Very important, our experience actually, or rather our mandate is actually for SJBA members who are more than 60 years old. But my chairman and my president are very kind. Come lah, even if you are 50 years old, tak apa lah, masuk saja lah. Okay? Please don't hold me to that. So, the selling point here is as people age. That's very important. As people age, okay, we will see that their physical strength, mental capacity, and cognitive functions decline. Right? And they will face increasing risk of physical disability, mental stress, okay, and other form of mental disorders, depression, and poor health. Well, this is something the previous speakers have mentioned. You can't run away, alright? Okay? And according to the gerontology, which is a scientific study of aging, as illustrated by the curve, the green line shows the normal aging process. Okay? As you get older, right, it will go down to old age. You can't help it. Then the red line there, okay, indicate the potential and possible lengthening of life. We call it, some people like to call it, add years to life. Okay? And the vertical line there is improving the quality of life, meaning adding life to year. This is a very common phrase used by many speakers, and is an unavoidable fact. Alright? So we recognize this in SJBA, right? No choice. And this is a quick one to show you if you are age 60 and above, the age group, you notice that the global prevalence of mental disorders, as shown by the global prevalence, is the highest. Okay, 60 and above. And the prevalence of mental disorder, okay, as you can see, I can't see from here, but a lot to deal with depression, anxiety, and worse, the worst is the risk of occurrence of dementia. High, very high. And if you look at the Malaysian statistics, this is a public publication by the Ministry of Health Malaysia. They did a morbidity survey, and they found that those who were in the 60 and 70 years age group, approximately 24% will somehow or other face mental problems. So if you are, again, not 60 and 70, don't worry. But if you are 60 and 70, perhaps 1 in 5.
That is 2016
okay?
research.
Right, that is statistics. But if you really want to know the detail, ask Brother Ananda FoW. He knows how to point to you to get this book. Right? Then we turn back to why are we doing this in SJBA? SJBA is a very interesting attempt. You will find that very surprisingly, 80% of the SJBA members are senior citizens. Jalat, 2,000 members they have. 1,600 are over 60 years old. Can you imagine that? Right, so imagine in 10 years' time, if we have the opportunity to see you here again, I don't know what will be the statistics. Okay?
100%.
But unfortunately, approximately only 10% are registered with our FoW activities. 10% of 160. Okay? And in what do you call that? In the year 2019, 2 years after we introduced this FoW programs, we found that 22% only have joined some form of Dharma program, whether come to listen to Dharma talk or not. It is considered a Dharma program, right? You listen to the talk as a Dharma program. You sit down at home doing nothing but face the Buddha and do meditation is also a Dharma program. The lucky part is that by the time we did another survey in 2025 on this group of people, FoW members, 80% of them said, they have participated in some form of Dharma activities. So we have to congratulate SJBA. The president is sitting there. Okay. And I was told that the common characteristics of the seniors, alright, whether it's in SJBA or any other temple, are such that, very interesting, they have very little knowledge about Dharma, especially according to our Theravada traditions. They have a lot of Dharma knowledge, but based on their upbringing and their years. For example, I know nothing about Theravada until I'm nearly 40 years old. Okay? And the other thing is that their interest for Dharma learning and practice is not very strong. They like, or we will say they like event, visa income, donate money, right? Temple is happy. They are happy because they got blessed. So everybody is happy, everybody go back. Right? So that kind of practice is what we see, but I'm not too sure about the other temples. But I was told like people like Brother Tan, So if what I say is not true, blame him. Okay? Now we are faced with this kind of problem, so what do we need to do? Sit down and do nothing? Okay, like what we call public health intervention, do nothing, everything, but we have to do something. Okay? And we have to look for a workable solution, right? To entice them into Dharma by way of making them participate in the learning and practice, and make sure that we have ways and means to make them leave their home and come to SJBA or your temples and be socially connected. Alright, that is something that we have to look for. And not only that they look for it, we as a provider of services have to create what we call a welcoming, warm and conducive environment. Okay? Offering enjoyable, it has to be enjoyable. Right? Learning Dharma must be enjoyable. I have not heard about that very often. Learning Dharma is enjoyable. Right? Except after meditation you feel joyful. Okay? And low pressure activities. Okay? And this is interesting. So, fortunately, we come up and Mickey Mouse, a bright, brilliant idea. Maybe the solution is active aging. For seniors, remember? And the basis of active aging is actually from the World Health Organization's policy framework 2002. So when we pick it up, it's already 15 years late. Alright? 2002, the WHO already came out with a policy framework. and the latest is United Nations, General Assembly has proclaimed up to 2020 as the decade for healthy aging. And of course, the Malaysian national policy of all persons, right, is also declared 2026, which is next year, until 2030 as a senior citizen action year. Very interesting. So for those of you who are interested, you go back just in time. It's only about 2 weeks more. You introduce active aging, so you're on time. Not in time now. You're on time to introduce this active aging program according to the nation policy, and ask for grant from your local MP or assemblyman. Okay. Now, what is the aims of the active aging? Very simple, no big deal one. Is to optimize opportunities to live longer. Everybody wants to live longer, right? That is a natural tendency. That longevity is, somebody said that, longevity is the purpose of life. Okay? And living long must also accompanied by purposeful and fulfilling life, including spiritual life. Okay, and you have to be independent and function without disability. I mean, you live old, yes, but you're not independent, and you are not what we call that with good functional ability. It can be a problem, alright? And we envisage and we hope that this active aging can provide lifelong learning. Okay? We talk about lifelong learning. Okay, like meditation, we have to meditate until you are enlightened, lifelong. Okay, now when we started this program, there's a lot of people asking, hey, FoW, particularly Brother Wang, alright, what has got active aging to do with Buddhism? Okay, and this is a very difficult question to answer. Good question, but long answer, so I won't answer. Okay, now the interesting part is you will notice that if you do a very simple comparative study, nothing to do, cannot sleep, wake up, do a comparative study, and you find that actually active aging is complementary to the essence. I will have to mention the essence of Buddhism. Okay, especially the last part, that is to purify the mind in the context of a Four Noble Truths. You will realize suffering better. Why? You play ping pong, okay? Last time you can play 3 sets, now you only play 1 set, you're very tired. If you play golf, when you are golfer, you understand. Last time you drive, right? 220 meters, like Dato' Charlie did. Okay, 200 meters now. Every year, your distance becomes shorter and shorter. That is suffering, man. Okay? That alone, recovery. Last time can play 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. Now, after 1 day, you're going to rise for another 2 days. Okay? So, look at it carefully. We can have a detailed discussion on this tomorrow, if you come. Okay? So, we came out with this model. Nothing fantastic, and we said that why not we integrate this active aging with a spiritual development based on Dhammapada, verse 183, right? Yes, I got to check with my seafood there, right? Dhammapada, verse 183, that is purify your mind as an essence, okay? We integrate them, can or not? Alright? That is actually is possible. On the left hand side, we focus on the participants' well-being and health. Alright, everybody will love it. Then we provide platform or facility for physical and mental activities. Oh, they love it. Emotional activity, yes. Bring your friends, come and talk, yum cha, whatever it is, okay? Then be socially connected. Right? Finally, community service, donate a lot of money to go and help people, okay? That is community service. Okay? And we would have a seamless interconnectedness, okay, in our model. So I can't go on anymore because he said thank you already. So I can't talk to you about our milestone. Right? Example, 1 minute about what we did over the last 10 years and what we envisage for our aspiration to do in 2026. Example, very importantly, okay, Brother Tan Cheng Chai is going to introduce, he's still holding up. Give me 1 minute, 1 minute. Okay, introduce the mindful aging, alright, and improve on our Bojangga Sutta study. And tomorrow I'll discuss with you why we choose Bojangga Sutta. Okay? Okay, these are some of the things that I will show you. And I was specially reminded to show you this, that after we did all this, our YB Hana Yu came and visited us and gave us 10,000 ringgit, for us to carry out activity. That is fantastic for a federal minister to come and give us money. Okay, so this is what I quickly explained to you. We were in 2026. This is important. We would introduce facility and balance exercise. Okay, very important because we want to get more balance. Okay, why balance? Because if you are not balanced, you fall. You fall, susah. Seniors, once you fall, especially you hit the big bone, the pelvic bone, very tough. Then you do, very importantly, another exercise is maintaining muscle mass or reduce the muscle mass. Okay, that is sarcopenia. Then the next one, okay, is enhance our mental health stimulation and developmental clarity program, such as playing chess, playing dart, for example. Okay. Unfortunately, we are unlikely, or we may not be able to introduce this mental health program in 2026 as we are still waiting for approval to get a conducive place in SJBA. Okay, and we are keeping our fingers crossed. With that, I won't have time to go into this. Thank you very much.
This suggests the nurturing of supportive Buddhist organizations. So I would like to draw this question to Brother Benny to answer.
Yeah, I think that's a truism. So we all know that research has really shown, both I mentioned about the book by Robert Mordinger. I think the other book is, you assess, is Martin Seligman. I think you're familiar with Martin Seligman. Well, I don't think it's that difficult, isn't it? I think we got Nobu AI. If you want to know about Dharma, you can just type in Nobu AI and then you can ask whatever questions that you want, right? So I don't think we need to go to the sophisticated AI. Seniors don't know how to use it. Or seniors don't have smartphone or laptops, is it? Then we can learn. You see, one of the things I mentioned about Martin Seligman's, he has a model called PERMA, P-R-M-A. I don't know, some of those who are in psychology may know the P-R-M-A. The A is the accomplishment, alright? And he says that actually your life becomes meaningful if you make it an effort to try to learn something new, something that you think that you could never do it, then you do it. And and he plays on the idea, you know, especially in Buddhist teachings, maybe not in the Theravada, but in the Mahayana tradition, we talk about Buddha nature. We all have that Buddha, we have the potential to actually, you know, have the potential there, right? So in other words, we can. So we must always tell ourselves that we can. So if AI sounds so insurmountable, then we do it step by step. We can ask our children, if the children are helpful, we can ask Fellowship of the Wise, with some wise senior people to help us. Right? So I think the accomplishment is the important part. Let us try to always aspire for something. Yeah? Okay. So give it a challenge.
Just to add to this, I think it is important to understand the place of AI and the importance of community connection. If you want to be connected to the community, we have everything we need. Yeah, in fact, some of the chat groups that I belong to, they are very active, and there's always the sense of being connected. The important thing is, how are you connected? Yeah, it is not just about using technology. It is, are you connected or not? Yeah, so you cannot just connect to people that you don't know. You must know them, or else whatever they are saying, how can you be sure that they are sincere? So therefore, knowing who they are is very important. And therefore, having reasons to come together, it makes the difference. You know, rather than talking to AI. There are now people who are so lonely, they develop emotional relationships with AI. They talk to the AI like a real person because they have no one else to talk to. That is the danger.
Okay, now I'd like to address this question too. I am an AI user. Now, on my phone, for those who are comfortable with playing around with smartphones, I've got DeepSeek, I have SJBA, I have Grok, I have Gwen, Chat, I also use Notebook. So many AI links, all that. But never mind, those of you who didn't bother to install any AI links on your smartphone, your simple browser, just go to Google, you type a question, and Google AI, which is actually Gemini, will answer you. So you are already in contact with an AI via your browser. At least if you're using the normal access to Google services. Now, one caution, using of AI, depending how you phrase the question, AI can give you wrong answers. I've encountered it. I'm asking a Buddhist question, they give me wrong answers, I go and, so I say, 反对 the answer, then the AI apologized to me, sorry, I'm wrong. I didn't know that. This kind of things. So my background, I can do that because I happen to know the answer. The AI give me wrong answers. So don't trust the AI. It's still a machine, it is still learning. But for those who want to access, use your browser.
So they are sincere.
Okay, I think the next question should be very, very simple. This is the last question. Where can senior Theravada Buddhists in the Klang Valley join activities at senior focus centers to keep their mind, health, and body active into old age and later stages of life? I will not let Brother Wang answer that question because you know why? It's a simple answer. Go to SJBA. You already have a presentation. You already know where. Just go there. If you come across any other centers, by all means. The important thing is you need to join a community of Buddhists. I have Buddhist friends, like Acharya Sanjay has mentioned, mix up in small groups. People will tell you, oh, this place got this program, this place got this program, something near you. Not all of you are from the clan, you are